Okay, so I'll keep stirring it up here. Everybody says this is kind of a fun thing, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do that at the beginning. When I started all this about 4 weeks ago, I certainly got a lot of letters and all positive, really. And then this one I just did here, it definitely dredged up a few more negative comments, which, hey, maybe that's what I need to do. I did almost probably a year of videos, which seemed like it was preaching to the choir. Like my people who watched me had gotten down to just kind of a few select 300, and it was like everybody was like, yeah, right on, right on. I don't think maybe every 5 videos I would get one thumb down. So maybe it's time to shake things up a little bit. I'm definitely of that world. I'm an anarchist. I'm a punk. I'm a hippie. I'm a rebel. My psychic told me I rebel against the rebels. Well, and there's also a part of me that's just really serious, and there's a part of me that's a joker, and I definitely bring across all of those personalities. And I think the cussing thing is one thing I've got to address right away. I can definitely carry on a conversation without cussing. I purposely did in my first LifeRegenerator full of crap video. I consciously did that on purpose. Just because I knew it was going to pull in a lot of people because of the topic. I knew right away, and it was... And just so you know up ahead of time, yeah, I am trying to get attention because I think my point of view is important. My age, the fact that I have been a health freak all of my life, the fact that I've been an anarchist all my life, the fact that I have never been somebody that will go, oh, here's all the rules in this box right here, it's black or white. So the reason I decided to be okay with this, it was definitely something I was not wanting to do, but I think it's clear that one of my messages that's coming across in this is I'm always reinventing myself. And I'm definitely not afraid to reinvent myself, and I'm definitely not afraid to go far out there. And this is a great time to talk about one of my heroes that I talk about all the time, which is a guy named Truth Calkins. A lot of you newer people don't know him. And he's definitely somebody that will go way out on a tangent, experiment with something, and then go, oh, nope, that didn't work, I'm going to try. And to a lot of people that see him through longevity now, they don't really know this as much, but a lot of the people in LA know this about him very much. And so I love this thing about him because I believe that that's, you got to try everything, and you have to, you know. And so, and I really want to bring across this, like, sort of diversity that I am. I've tried to really, I just kind of want to let all of those parts that I am kind of radiate out more, and I definitely want to be an archetype for that wideness of not sort of being a clone of the little belief system that maybe, you know, we're something amazing and beautiful when we're children, if you came from a world where you were allowed to flower, and I was. And then as you sort of get into society and maybe you fall apart or something, and maybe you find something that's like gets you out of a mire or a muck, and then you definitely want to follow the rules of that if it's something new. But then once you achieve a big step up, you want to reinsert yourself in there, and that's all I'm trying to say in all of this. At its essence, is just these people are not they're losing the wide potential of all possibilities when you start subscribing and using this tunnel vision. And so let me just get on the cussing thing right away, because I know that's something that people find really there's a group of people that find this ignorance or this sort of stupidity or this dirt in that. And I got to tell you that I'm pretty sure with the way I think, or I'm not pretty sure, I know, because the fact that I can even think it means that it exists. There's a parallel universe, I promise you, where there's highly enlightened people where every other word is an F-bomb. If you don't know what an F-bomb is, that's fuck. That's the really amazing sort of subversive way that somebody can use the word fuck over and over in all different kinds of contexts. That's amazing. See, I love language, and what you puritanical people like Sir Thriver, what you need to know about me is that you know, I'm a joker. There's a part of me, some people say I don't smile. Well, I smile bigger on the inside in this whole different kind of dark humor kind of way. Lenny Bruce, Bill Hicks, Robert Anton Wilson, just because there's kind of a whole big cosmic joke to all of this, and it's just like if you can't sort of be a joker, then the seriousness will eat you up. Anyways, so I have to point out to you, all my old people know that one of my greatest heroes is this guy named Grant Morrison, and that's going to be the first link. Is I have watched this lecture as many times as some kids have watched Star Wars, and I'm a kid and I've watched Star Wars a lot, and I know I've watched this lecture more. It's only 45 minutes long. It's Grant Morrison at his Disinfo convention speech that he did, and this is one of my all-time heroes, and this guy is not a raw foodist. He's not, I don't really follow all of his work, except I came to know him through this convention, and then it reappeared on YouTube after I'd long forgotten about it. There's a lot of cussing in this. This is a really wild thing, but this guy is probably one of my all-time heroes, just for inspiration. If I'm feeling down in the dumps or feeling wrong in the world or whatever, I go right to this lecture. This lecture always makes me feel good. That's the first link in the D box there. Great hero of mine. Oh my. Well, Sir Thriver, I definitely respect your forthcomingness of having your strong opinion. I should warn you, however, I've already looked to see that it's already happened. My loyal subscribers are well known for like shooting somebody down with sort of less than developed ways of thinking about things that don't look obvious. So, and I can see in your case it's already been done. So, but I guess the reason a lot of people who watch me a lot are excited that I'm kind of going down this is they want to see stuff kind of shook up and everybody getting some opinions going. So I just have to tell you, you don't know everything about Crowley, and it's Crowley's definitely somebody that I've sort of dropped, and nobody's really. It's kind of a real controversial name, even at a great bookstore like the Bodhi Tree in Los Angeles, which is well known for being a very liberal a place, and as a bookstore, very liberal, and lots of books on, you know, great religious texts of the world, as well as crazy UFO books and stuff like that. But they have to keep all the Crowley stuff in a special area because people will deface it. And I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but one of the things I think is really important about Crowley, I'll just say that little bits and pieces get picked out of his body of work that he's done. And so one of the first most important things about him is he was really the first New Ager, in the sense of that really what the sort of New Age type thinking is all about is really taking a lot of cultures from an ancient sort of legends and all that kind of stuff, and pulling it all together. That's really what the New Age is just this sort of hybridization, this sort of gathering of all of the energy that has existed on planet Earth, because it's really diverse, and really that's what I want to stand for, is just bringing all this together. Is that there's got to be a truth in everything. It's just because people see it, and I know that there's a part of where people follow with their heart with everything. They're you know, and that's why in the end there really is no evil in the world, because nobody intends to really be evil. So the thing that's important about Crowley is he was the first person to really go all over the world. He was what we'd call nowadays a trustafarian, or a trust baby. He was left with the wealth of his family, which allowed him to go around the world and investigate. And he was really one of the first persons that did a lot of that, or at least was one of the first persons. There was people doing things like that, but he documented a lot of it, and going beyond documenting, actually participated in a lot of stuff and developed his own ideas. And of course, it was a very intense thing that he did, and of course, his work has really been like the work of Jesus, like the work of a lot of great people. His work has been looked at as being perverse because it's been taken out of context and not looked at right. So he's a real important person when you just consider it. And what's you say, look it up. So trust me, you haven't looked it up. I gotta laugh at you right there. You know, look it up. It's just like looking at Quackwatch. Look it up. You know, I gotta say, I'm a bullshit watch for Quackwatch, and I'm a bullshit watch for people that think they know everything. So I definitely don't, and I definitely just want to get out there just being somebody that's really explosive with like looking at everything. So Crowley was considered one of the great polymaths of the world, and if you don't know what that word means, that means somebody who knows something about everything. What's to say about you? I don't know. You definitely think you know what enlightenment is, that's for sure. So definitely don't. There's no way. That's what I want to get away from. Is enlightenment is just a complete personal interpretation of freedom and love. Love is just complete freedom, and there's no way that somebody that cusses or just, you know, that doesn't, that's, you're just out there. So I'll leave your comments on there for sure. I'm not in that. It seems like I kind of want to stir things up now. That's for sure. Well, thanks a lot for wondering where my song selections have been. I'm honestly, in the way I view the world, I wish I could get as much attention with my love of music as I do with my love of health food. So obviously, anybody asking about the self-indulgence section of my videos, which is the musical tip, definitely makes high points with me. So this is my favorite part of any video. Well, here's the musical selection. The one that first came to mind that I really wanted to do would just get me into more trouble, so we'll just stick with the safe end of this, of winding it up, of like, oh, he is subversive and out there, and so I'll put this into a nice context. This is also the way I live, the way I see my music, the great hybridization of things that get me out of my American world of seeing this different way that people live and think is my discovering. Well, it's a rediscovery. I was not really so into the band Sigur Ros when some friends told me about them in the 90s, and then somebody reintroduced them to me through the work of singer Jonsi with his solo work, which I liked a lot, and made me go back and look at Sigur Ros. Anyways, just a little backstory. Jonsi is very openly gay, and him and his boyfriend Alex are just absolutely awesome people. They are raw foodists, and so I was reintroduced to them, and I just am still not as crazy about Sigur Ros as I am about Jonsi's work. But anyways, this is an excerpt from a movie called Heima, which is a movie that Sigur Ros did on returning back from their world tour, and it's kind of amazing how really big, huge numbers of things can exist without the rest of the world or their pop world knowing about it. It's just like Depeche Mode is one of the greatest bands that's ever been around, and they have a loyal audience. You know, there are few bands that are 30 years old that are still selling out 80,000 seat arenas, and Depeche Mode is, and Sigur Ros is on that level too. They definitely are a big draw in this movie Heima. Heima means homeland in Icelandic, and for me, Jonsi and Sigur Ros really sum up a lot of how I feel about stuff. Jonsi is not singing in Icelandic. He's singing in an invented language. And just a lot of their music is very stream of thought, and it's a very beautiful way that this video is put together, and I love it. So here you go, Sigur Ros. Song's called Olsen Olsen. great graphics from their movie Heima.